Welcome to week 5, course HRM 6118, and for master degree. And this is week 5, 3/29/2021. And let's start it. Today, one of the subjects that I love it. Okay, we want today talk about talent management. What does it mean, talent management? What does it mean, talent management? What's the difference between talent management, for example, with career education, career development? Why we should manage our talent forces in our organization? What does it mean? How do you think about this concept, talent management? Any ideas, Mario?
It's basically focusing in the best skills or the ones that could be more developed, or like differentiated ones.
Is it only about the skills? Is it only about the skills?
No, but I mean, I'm just talking about the talent part.
Can you give me a definition for talent? What's talent? And who is talented? As you think. No matter about the scientific definition, only your own definition.
Talent is a skill that you got that is non-common. Let's say like that. It's scarce.
It's extraordinary.
No.
It is genetic, inherent.
It could be.
How do you think, Yana, about the definition of talent? Or what is the difference between talent and skill?
Talent you are born with. You have some extra trait or talent, like a prodigy child. That's a little bit extreme, maybe. And skill is something cognitive you learn during your life. Talent is the basic of the skill you can improve during the life. That's, I think.
So if you think that we cannot obtain talent and acquire talent, it is genetically mother-born. Why we think about the talent management? If it is genetic, if you have or you don't have, it is not about the skill training. If you think also, you say me that talent is mother-born. How can manage something which is mother-born, if you have or not to have?
I think everybody has talent. Is that the base? How maybe someone was born with a bigger talent for something and someone, I don't know, the regular talent. I like playing guitar. Some people have.
Let's change the angle of discussion. What is the difference between talent and strength? Who is talented, who is strong? For example, we say character strength and talented. What is the difference between talents and character strength?
The difference between talent and strength is like talent is like something that's, more natural. And then strength is just like something you have to work towards.
You can acquire a strength?
Yes.
Do you consider a strength at the same page of skills? Strengths or skills, like the skills? And what's the difference between a strength and skills? If you think that they are at the same page.
Yeah, both are develop, practice,
But main question is about development. For example, that the verb we regularly use with skill is a skill training, not a skill acquisition. It is training, practice and progress the skills. So, strength, talent, power, and skills. These words. Which is more genetic, strengths, talent, skills, power.
Talent.
Delete power, delete power. The strengths, talent, skills. Which is more genetic, inherit, motherboard?
Talent. As I,
Mario,
as
how
I,
do you think? Which is more inherent, more genetic, more motherboard? Skills, talent, and strength.
talent.
Talent. Yana?
Talent.
And also Kenneth, I feel Kenneth has some problems in the work, and I permit him, if you don't want to attend the class, no problem. Okay, let's go to the chapter and see the differences. Also, the questions I asked you was not about the management. It is about some specific field of management, so-called positive leadership. If you go to the books of positive leadership, it's a very money-making and scientific base, evidence-based approach to organizations. If you go to this part, you can find the concepts of talent, strength, skills. Also, talent is not basically genetic or inherent. You can create talent in opposition of the popular view about the talent. You can create, you can acquire your talent. But the strength, you can work on it. Some parts is genetic. And in practice, it is not so important because finally, you face with many skills that you need to find in yourself as a manager and in your employees as your co-workers in your organization. Finally, we have talked about skills, what can be measurable and observable in other people's behaviors, also sometimes in ourselves. Learning objective of this chapter is identify the importance of talent management and discuss two reasons it may be difficult. Explain the importance of succession planning and the steps involved in the process. One of the lovely things, one of the good things you can find in MBA course is that the scope as management is widening in your eyes. You can look at the management in different aspects of your life, not only in organizations or corporation. For example, in the MBA course, you will find some topics about the change management. Now we are talking about talent management. You see that management is not only a concept about the organization and corporations. It's a general concepts, honestly, about all aspects of your life, all aspects. All aspects in your life, you can find management, and you should find management. And surprisingly, that finally you find that in management in all aspects of your life is based on your self-management. Because of that, we can see here that, okay, perfect. We can find management in all aspects of our life. And finally, for example, talent management, strength management, power management, skills management, organizational management, corporation management, business management, life management. One of the greatest books in positive psychology, the title is All Life is Life Management, is the title. Except of your university related courses, how many pages do you read per week? Do you read anything extra your courses or not? Mario?
Yeah, I do read.
Average, how many pages average?
Depends on the book. I could be 100 pages in a day if I'm really interested, or it could be 20, 30, 10.
Per day? Each day?
Yeah, before sleeping.
Perfect. For example, what is the type of books that you can study before sleeping? It's in novels.
Yeah, they're usually novels.
Yana? I know in that part of Europe that Yana is from, reading book is very, very serious job for popular, for ordinary people, very serious. I know in Bulgaria, in Turkey, in Greek, in Dutchland, in Poland, in that part of Europe, also in Bosnia and Herzegovina, Czechoslovakia, reading book is very important. Only poor people pay money for reading book, for buying book, or going, for example, for library. So Yana, I don't know if you have this habit or not, but how many papers, how many pages do you read per week?
It depends which kind of book, as a Mario. Now I have a book which called Building Your Power Vocabulary. And it's not about the pages, it's about the words which are there. So it's difficult to say.
Perfect. Perfect. Adnan, are you here? I can see your airplane only.
Hey, how are you,
Perfect.
doctor?
Yeah. Our pilots come to our session. Before coming to our session, I only see the airplane and aircraft and sometimes your airport. Also, your airport is not so dirty. You should clean it. Okay, Adnan, do you read any book extra your academic books per week, per month or not? You don't have any time.
Oh, well, to be honest, um, you know, it's like actually, I'm the one guy that says like when he ever go, he look for the library always.
Right.
Always. This is actually one time I was, but I like reading book about management. This is my or positive thinking or mindset or story for success. Uh, Sometimes that's really written good. I finish the book in the same night. So actually, I'm gonna recommend it to you guys the one my favorite book. I read it so as like I don't know 3-4 years ago. It's called The Last Best Hour Chance to Peace. For peace is like for second Abdullah, that's the king of Jordan, and really is I finished the book, guys, at the same night. It's
What was
almost
the name of the book?
the last best, the last best chance for peace, or the last hour best chance for peace. And I swear God, I finished it at the same night. It is like 400 pages. It was written in very. After that, I start looking for the books for kings and princes because they put a lot of effort there. And
Oh,
this
it's by King Abdullah.
Abdullah II, king of Jordan.
Yeah, I know it.
The last best.
Is this one?
I don't know. You find it?
Yeah, you can see it or not.
Wait a second, because I get out the screen. Yeah. Oh my God, this guy. I swear. Where's your screen is not shared yet? Show me again. It was there. Yeah, our last best chance for peace. So this guy, I swear God, guys. I don't know how you got it, but this one, I finished it. I don't know how many pages. Maybe 400, 300 something, 375, if I remember the number. I finished it in the same night. It was something.
By the King of Jordan.
It was something above the beyond, as we can say it. And actually,
What have you learned from this book?
it's how he was saying the story, how he became the story about it was something that's how he became the king, and he was saying some story about Iraq when he was visiting Iraq with his dad, King Hussein.
Yeah. I know him. I know him.
And he
I think
was
King
doing,
Abdullah lived a long time in London, in England, before becoming a king.
yeah, son Hinder, yes. He was getting his master degree in international relationship
Yeah.
there, and that is like considered as I don't know, that's generals or army.
After that, what book have you read? after this book for after since 4 years ago? What was the greatest
Well,
book during the last 4
no,
years?
actually, I go to the library and I just go find some book that's written good and talking about management, talking about how to manage your time, how you use your skills or polishing your skills, or look for the things from different angles. And this is something that's help you out to get the best of yourself, and that's really the good
Have
way.
you read this book, students? Have you read this book, Originals?
No.
I don't really read in English besides my
Any book?
academic stuff.
Any book?
Originals.
And also another book, it is called Give and Take, as you see in the picture. Give and Take by Adam Grant. Give and Take. The first book is Give and Take. Give and Take is a new book about business. And second one is Originals. How nonconformists move the world. Nonconformist. It's perfect idea. Nonconformist.
What does it mean, non-conformist?
Nonconformist, this is somebody like, for example, Jeff Bezos. Someone like, for example, this guy from Tesla, I forgot the name. Elon Musk, nonconformist. Someone who cannot obey other people. They go for their self. It is a nonconformist move the world. One of the greatest book you should study, and also this book. Let me share it with you. It is not mandatory, but it is necessary to read the books. It is not mandatory for your job, for your university, but for your job, it is necessary. If you cannot read the books, you are out of the market. You cannot enter the modern market. Let me show it to you. This book. Can you see it?
Yeah, I started read this one, but it was a couple years ago, and the English was very difficult for me.
Yeah.
Because the concept is difficult. It was very difficult. But
Daniel Kahneman is the only psychologist who has won the Nobel Prize for economy. He's genius. He's Jewish and he's genius. Daniel Kahneman is the only psychologist who has won the Nobel Prize in economy. There is no Nobel Prize for psychology or for sociology, but for economy, for peace, for medicine, for physics and chemistry, and also literature. But he has won because he worked about the economic behaviors. Very large work. This book is very, very necessary for you. And the final book I want to, also there are very book here. This book, Positive Leadership by Kim Cameron. Kim Cameron is not psychologist, but he is the founder, one of the founders of International Positive Psychology Association. He's from the major field of management. He's not psychology, but he's genius. Kim Cameron, Positive Leadership. Wayne, what was the last book you studied during the last year?
I read, it's called $1 Trillion Coach.
What's the name of the book?
$1 Trillion Coach. $1 Trillion Coach, yeah. Yeah, that one.
Because I want other students to see the book. Is it good?
No, it's the other, the
What?
cover of
About
that
Silicon Valley.
guy in the picture.
Can you see the picture?
Yeah. It's the other one though, with the picture of the guy. Yeah,
This one?
there you go. Yeah, so he's
Eric Schmidt.
the guy who coached all the Silicon Valley CEOs and founders. Yeah, like Steve Jobs, founders of Google, they all were coached by this guy named Bill
Perfect.
Campbell.
Perfect. I love it. Other books? It's very good for you as MBA students to organize a book club in university. And I can talk to the leadership teams of university to create a book club or journal club each week. Also as mandatory. Journal club is very good. I will talk to the leadership team of university to talk about the books and talk about the articles, and especially between the MBA students and DBA students. Very good for you. Okay, I want to show you some books. It is very good to know about the other books. Also, you know, it is changing the location of Silicon Valley. What is the second location of Silicon Valley in the America?
Las Vegas.
I think
Right.
Texas.
Which city? Which city in Texas?
Las Vegas. I think they're moving out
No,
for
Las
Las
Vegas.
Vegas
No,
or
it's in
Texas. I'm
Texas.
not sure.
In Texas, but I don't know if
To Texas,
Which
right?
city?
Houston?
Yeah.
no, Houston. The
Austin.
Austin. Perfect. Austin. Tesla has gone to Austin. Leaving California. Goodbye, California. Welcome to Austin. After 2 years from now, the homes and the lands in Austin will at least economic prediction said at least it is double, at least double. After 10 years, it's just like something Silicon Valley. All companies are going to Austin. Also to Texas, especially in Austin. Google has a program. Tesla has gone about 2 months ago to Austin and other industry because of the taxes and because of the federal taxes and state taxes in here in California. And after going out from California, there are not some good news about the bankruptcy in the state of in Golden State, California. Okay, let's go to the major parts.
Before you go, give and take. What does the name of the book? For who?
Adam Grant, Give and Take.
Give and take, Adam.
It's perfect. I love this book.
Okay.
I love this book.
You know, it's cool. Sometimes that is like make you open, you know, it's like make you look for the thing for the different angle. And that's good idea. Let's see. It's not really expensive.
This is Give and Take by Adam Grant.
Oh, I get it. Thank you, sir.
A revolutionary approach to success. Give and take.
I got it. Thank you.
Yeah. Differentiate between organization centers and individual centers, career planning, and so list options for development needs analysis and discuss 3 career issues that organizers and employees must address. Identify several management development methods, and welcome to talent management. We have 2 approaches here: strategic talent management and integral talent management, or ITM, not IBM. It is ITM, integrated talent management. What is strategic talent management? Strategic management is you try to educate your present employees based on your long-term strategic plan of your organizations, and identifying the most important jobs. What is the most important jobs in a company that provides a long-term competitive advantages? What are the most important jobs in a company or organization? The jobs that provide a long-term competitive advantage, and then create appropriate HR policies to develop employees so that they can effectively work in these jobs. Also, it is a little traditional, a little. Why? Because it limits you to the current employees. And based on the current employees, you can provide and shape and form the HR policies for education, the present, the current employees for the long term, for the jobs with long-term competitive advantages, so-called the most important jobs. And the other part is integrated talent management, holistic approach to leveraging and building human capital. It is something else. In the strategic talent management, the focal point, the point of your focus as a manager, as a leader, is on the jobs. So the workforce is not important. The job as a capital is important. But in other parts, ITM, integrated talent management, your focal point, your focus, your emphasis is on your workforce. Please go to the Transformation Center of Excellence at Kalim's site. If you enter the Kalim's site, let me show you. When you enter the Kalim's site, let me share it with you. When you enter the Kalim's site, it is centers of excellence. We have 4 centers of excellence here. Industry 4.0 Center of Excellence, Center for Women Empowerment. It was our last year before COVID. We had an academic meeting in the university, and after that, we never went to university. Sustainability Center of Excellence, and also this center, Transformation Center of Excellence, that I am the director here. This video. Please go to the site and this video about the workforce transformation. It's very good for you. New idea for the young managers, for the future-oriented managers, for the leader. What about the workforce transformation? It's very important. And also, please look at the McKinsey Institute. McKinsey company is a very important company about the management and new ethics. This is Kim Cameron. I talk about the positive leadership. But basically, please go to the site and watch this video. What does workforce transformation mean to you? It's very good for you, very good. Okay. How can we maximize the value of talent management? How do you think? What does it mean, the value of talent management? Why we use the word value here? What does it mean, the value of talent management? What is the professional, specific meaning of value of talent management? What is the value of talent management? Why we should manage the talents of our organization? Why? You will be the next generation of leaders. Why, Adnan?
Because they are the futures. They really they rise the bar for the next level.
Mm-hmm. Yes. We
That's
talked about it in the previous slide about the most important jobs. Yana, what are the most important jobs in our organizations? As we said in previous PowerPoint. What is the most important job in our organization? Mario?
Management,
What?
leadership.
Yeah. Jobs for long-term competitive advantage. These are the most important jobs in our work for long term, not for short term. Because of that, we call them capital. Human capital, force capital, work capital, financial capital. Because of that, capital is something that you can use it like assets for the future. Because of that, talent management is very important. Talent management creates a good area for you for work in the future and to develop and have a progressive approach to your organization. You can do it something now and give the result, for example, after 1 year. This is something like a strategy. We don't have any short-term strategy. When it is short-term, technically, professionally, you cannot call it a strategy. You should call it planning. Planning can be short-term. When you say strategy, you are talking about the long-term plans at the first stage, about the long-term plans. Develop current employees and hire outside talent. Two approaches. You can develop your present employees and look at the outside of your organization and hire new people, new employee, which are fit with your long-term strategies for your talent management. I love this book because this book says you, this chapter, this title, HR management, says you that human resources are not only for hiring and getting people fired. It's not only, it is the best stage and the last stage. There are many, many, many important items between these, especially about the human resources. We are not about to recruit, for example, only recruit people and interview. Many people outside of your university, outside your job, outside your major academic fields think that only HR management or HR is about the who can, for example, timing the personnel who is at the first time, who is the next time, what is the time of lunch and tea time and other these not bad things, but very, very not important things. But something like talent management is very important. And it is very interesting that you can find some videos, or maybe you have seen in your organization that you are working now. Many times there are major conflict, great conflicts between the executive managers and HR managers. Executive managers and HR managers, great conflicts. They cannot have a shared meaning of the same thing. They have one problem, but without any shared meaning, any shareable. Because executive managers only looks and talks about the present moment. They want only to be executive to solve the problems. The job of an executive management is not talking and thinking about the future. It is not about execution. It is about the performance. It is about the strategy. It is about the goal setting, about the visions of the organization, not only mission, not only strategy, about the vision, mission in the long term, but they are executive. Because of that, if you will be in the future one of the highest level managers in your organization, in your own business or other people's business, one of the greatest problem for you as a general manager is, as a board member, is to solve the conflicts between HR managers and executive managers, because you are not anything doing for simple workers. It is not related to you. It is about the mid-level managers. But talking and solving the problems with major different parts of organization, for example, between the executive department and HR department, is very important to solve the conflicts. It is very hard, very, very hard. The second part, create talent pools and broad competence in employees. I love these words, talent pools. Many talent that they will be ranking automatically. They will ranking based on the nature of their talents. It is no force for doing, no forceful. Use short-term talent forecasts that are likely more reliable than long-term forecasts. You know that if you don't have any forecast about the future, forecast, financial forecast, talent forecast, work forecast. If you don't have any forecast about the future, you cannot do anything. Establish a balance between employees and companies' ownership of career development. Establish a balance between employees and companies' ownership of career development. It is about maximizing the value of talent management. You see the second model here, integrated talent management, or ITM. It has three major parts: acquisition and staffing, that two parts of three parts, two components of three components here in the previous session, selection and placement. And the first session, the first part is the basic part, recruiting. And after that, selection and placement, that we talked about it in the last week. Second part is the talent management components. And third part is the result and work outcomes. What are the components of talent management? These are training, development, appraisals, compensation, performance management, career planning, and succession planning. These are the components of talent management. And the final part is result and work outcomes. The components of build management talent, create important job talent, because finally, what is the function of talent for you? We want to use them in a long-term and long-term goals for our, for example, most important jobs. Positive work attitudes and retention. Talent is like inventory. Companies must pay attention to employees' needs. What does it mean, talent is like inventory? Companies must pay attention to employees' need. What about the inventory? How do you think? Why we shoot the word inventory here? Mario, Adnan, Wayne, Yana, anybody here? Adnan.
So because the talent, if they not have their demands, whatever they want, they're gonna leave easy.
Because of that, you think this is something like inventory, talent management?
So it's like sometimes like you check about on your talent people. Talent people, they have a special. What I see in the companies, they have a special environment to work. You know, the talent is like they bought the standard, they bought the the terms, they bought everything. Hey, you need the outcome this, okay, I can work in this way. That's work with you, welcome you. That's not working with you, I'm moving. But because you need the outcome, and that's the outcome coming with the talent people, you go with their standard. That's usually is like as owner or as manager or whatever. I need the job done. No manner is like by the level or the environment or the needs or whatever the condition they work for it or they need it or demand it. So I'm gonna go with it. It's like if that's make the job done.
Yeah. Other students? What's the meaning of this phrase? Talent is like inventory. What are the similarities between talent and inventory, which called is like?
If not well,
Admin talk about it. Other students, Mario.
If not well managed or organized, let's say properly planned, the way that you're gonna develop it, it's not gonna be as profitable for the company as if you don't prepare it and you don't plan, like work towards. Yeah, I feel that. I don't know.
Your voice, you mute yourself.
Yeah. Adnan, is there anything?
Yeah, it's something we like to call them bright minds. That's, I don't know. I mean, that's my concept. But that's usually always is like this. This is my idea about the management company. So usually this is, you bring people from different kind of background. So
Uh-huh.
when you have a problem, you're gonna have different kind of so they solve the problem from different angles. And in this case, you're gonna choose the best one. But if you're
Mhm.
hiring people from just one source or one background or one
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
village, you're gonna have just the same solve for the problem, and there is no option for you. So this is another, this is expand for that thing. But it's like, for me, it's like the talent people, they try to make the job faster, easier, and smarter. Work smart, not hard. That's their thing.
Perfect. Very good idea and very good ideation. Let me enter the class. Okay. Let's go to the other parts. Successful talent management attracts and retains talent and look for individual characteristics that lead to job success. What does it mean? It's very important. Do you think it is a slogan? It's a motto? It cannot be used in real world, that you should, as a manager, pay attention to the individual characteristic that lead to job success. How do you think? Uh, Let me talk about the phrase in positive psychology. In positive psychology, there is about 800 book, very, very important basic book about the strength characters, and character strengths and virtues. About 800 pages. And in that book, they said to us, the scientists of positive psychology said us, we have signature strength. Signature strength is the strength that you have, and you can work on them very easy. And when you work on your signature strength, you look that you feel that you are very, very easy with the job. Because of that, if you as a manager look for the characters in your personnel, in your staffs, in your employees, that these characters are the signature characters, signature strengths, they will feel that they are in a good position, in a match position. It's very important. I don't know how many are you familiar with the modern management, modern concept management. Sometimes it is really different between different countries. For example, in Middle East, in South America, some countries don't pay attention to the modern concept of management. Because of that, when they want to work with developed countries like US, like Central and North Europe, and some parts of other, for example, Australia and other countries, they cannot understand what the management are talking about. They are talking about the human resources as the human capital. It's very important to look at your employees, as your capital. What will happen when a company lose its capital? Bankruptcy. What will happen when a company lose its capital? bankruptcy. It's only about the financial capital, yes. What about the human capital? We studied in the previous weeks, in the previous chapters, that your employees, your staffs, your managers are your human capital. Pay attention, don't forget, they are your capital. They are your final goal of your investments. Capital is something that you can find at the ending stage of investment. Capital is not before your investment. Capital is after your investment. So if you lose your capital, you lose everything. And your human resources are your capital. Please look at this book. I don't know that have you read this book or not. It is about management in organizations. Also, this book is not so new, but it's a very fundamental, good book. Very fundamental book. It is, yes. Let me share with you this book. Psychological Capital, Developing the Human Competitive Edge by Fred Lutyens. Lutyens is very, 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 very famous theorist, very in management, very famous theory. And a combination between sociology, psychology, and management as a science. Lutyens is very, very, very famous theorist in this part. It is psychological capital and not about the human resources, for example, in society. It's just about the organizations by Lutyens and Caroline Youssef and Bruce Avolio. It is another book by Lutyens also, Psychological Capital and Beyond. And also, I think this book has the new version at the 2019 or 2018, Psychological Capital. It's very important to look at these. If you want to be a different manager, other students, other professional managers has studied and has taken the courses you are taking in your MBA or DBA program. Not the same. The differences is about your experience and your knowledge, and not about your knowledge, about your attitude. For example, the book said about it, Wayne, was about the attitude. Or the book Adnan talked about it, it was about attitude, not direct about the organizations, about the attitude of organizations. Okay, I love it. I love this book. Also, I haven't read the original book. I read the transformation in Farsi language of this book, but it was perfect. I read it not as a professor in a management university. I read it as a psychologist, positive psychologist. It is one of the good books in positive psychology because the concept is very positive. Psychological capital. It's very new, very, very new. Okay. Successful talent management attracts and retains talents. Look for individual characteristics that lead to job success. If you find the major characteristic, major strengths of your people around you, especially your employees, your co-workers, and you use them in their match position, in their match job, you are not a manager, you are a leader, you are a coach, you are a mentor. Something more than everything is mentor. Mentorship is the end stage. At first it's consultation, after that is counseling, after that is psychotherapy, after that is coaching, and after that final stage at the highest level of guiding other people is mentorship. If you can find the characteristic strength in other people around you, about your mother, father, brother, sister, husband, wife, children, and also as a manager in your employees, in your co-workers, for other manager, If you have a talent, good talent to find, also it's a science. You can use the science to talent finding. If you can find the talent in other people, you can be the prophet of their life. You can be the prophet, mentor of their life, something more than everything. And has management here, sorry, has management that builds confidence. It's very important. Every time you want to know that how impressive manager you are, you ask your employees, your coworkers, that when you are out of the organization, how many times you think about me? And why? What is the matter? What is the subject that you are thinking about? If they say to you, when I am outside of the organization, in my family, in my society, my community, for some solving some problems, I think if you were instead of me, how will you solve this problem as my manager? You are a good manager. You have gone to the heart, you have gone to the mindset of your employees. They said, yes, for example, if Adnan was here, how did solve this problem? If some days employees of Adnan talk with themselves outside of the organizations, Adnan will be their mentor, not their organizational manager, or also Wayne, or also me, also Yana, everybody else. Adnan,
So this is the important thing actually is like if you manager, okay, you have the power to make the life to give a stress for your employees. And I was managing and observation the if I give stress for the employees, how much the productivity they do, and if I make them happy or appreciate what they do, and I keep giving them good words, it's like good job, you're doing great. It's like something like that. And that's different way. But I don't know why the companies until now they don't know or they don't teach their leaders or their manager or whatever. Trust me, it's like there is two way both of the way they can do the job. Trust me, might the second one is stressful. He gonna be think about, oh, might I'm gonna get fired today. He's not gonna focus on his job,
no,
and that's sometimes is gonna screw his what he doing, and in the end that's ended by you do it again for him. But anyways, so exactly, so you find the two ways. Trust me, it's like I was study that in close angle, and I see that it's like, okay, you can give him some comments and you can, but address it in a nice way. Told him you better than this. It is like how you bring it up. It's like, hey, Mario, you better than this. You can do better than that. It's like this is not your level. This is too low. You higher than this. Trust me, the way you address it is like, okay, he gonna make attention next time. He gonna put a lot of work there to do it in best way. And actually, before I'm studying this master degree, if you was coming to me and asking me, define for me management, I'm gonna define it by easy way. It's called the employee doing their job in the best way and look back to the face of the manager to see his smile. That's it. This is the perfect way. By the way, I write it in the Facebook, and one of my employees was with me in the Facebook, and it was something, it's like she said, I know I can't translate it anyways, but it was give me like hard time there. But this is exactly the way, this is the best way to manage. It's like the employee put their best just to make to look back to you and you see your smile. That's it. Are you happy? They look for your satisfied. Are you satisfied? Are you happy? This is the best way. This is zero effort for management. Trust me, management, he need to make his effort zero to focus for future things. It's not just solving
yeah,
a problem
yeah.
between the employees and bring
Because
problems.
of that, when you now, after, for example, for the last 10 years, if you open any book about the principles of management, one of the basic skills, one of the basic concepts you can find in the books is about emotional intelligence. It's very popular in management. So at the first, emotional intelligence is not about management, it's about psychology. The founder of this, the coiner of this concept is not a manager. It's about psychology. But it's very popular to use emotional intelligence skills in your own life and in your organization. Adnan?
Yeah, so the best way to there is different way to earn respect, by the way. Is and you know there is, and also it's like how you know that you earn respect is like when one of my employees he called me back, I give your number, that is gonna check on me, that is like
Yeah.
for another company they gonna call you to check on me, that is like I'm doing good or not. This is that's when you feel that you earn the respect. As a manager you need to treat your employees, if you see them in the street what they gonna say, they gonna make themselves not see you, it's like they're gonna change their way, or they're gonna come to you and say hi. Trust me, this is in the basics, is like try to be nice. Okay, you can bring problems, you can, so we go to through problems with them, they do some mistakes, everyone do some mistakes, and but you always you need to be bring it up in nice way. And trust me, it's just about the words. You
Yeah.
can bring anything but about the words. So usually when the employee is coming to me the first time in the day,
So
I
there
try.
are different approaches to management. For example, in Europe, in Oriental countries, in MENA, Middle East and North Africa, and also in different parts of Europe. Europe is very small, but different cultural parts. Southern Europe is very different to Central Europe and very different to, for example, North Europe, only between these countries. It's very different to look at the management and the goal of the management. And we will look at them here in talent management information systems. For everything, you need an information system. How to gather information, how to manage the information, how to have some conclusion, some result from your information, from your data. And finally, what is the discussion about the data or information you have? At first, the first information system for talent management is integrate all the species of talent management into one manageable whole. It is very important. It is not so hard to take everything to integrate many different parts. It is not so hard. You can integrate and create a connection, interconnection between different aspects of your life, between different aspects of your organization. But the problem is how manageable is that whole? How manageable is that big picture yet that you have created in your organization with by integrating the different parts of your organization together? After that, you will have a big picture. You will have a whole picture about the organization. But how much? How effective is this whole picture, this big picture? Is it manageable? No, it is not manageable. It is the major question. So many people, many managers, many, I don't want to honestly call them low-level management, but very traditional managers, that they have taken these courses in very good universities. But after coming out from the university and going to the work, I see that, sorry, they have only read the books and the good points, good grades, and they are top students, but their mindset is very traditional about the management. In the practice, in the real world practice, they know a lot about anything in the management, but they cannot use it in the real world. Because of that, we said it should be in a manageable whole, not only, for example, in a great picture of everything which is interrelated together. The other information system for talent management is pull together HR, finance, and operations data to get insight on talent that are otherwise difficult to obtain. You see, in this part, We integrate every data from major important parts of an organization. Why? We want to have a total look. We have a holistic overview, a holistic look at the talent management in our organization. Not only, for example, from the inside of HR or inside of, for example, financial or inside of the execution or operational parts. We want to have a manageable whole about our talents in our organization. It is very important. It is very important. If you cannot do it, your organization will never be a dynamic organization. And in this very, very hyper competitive world, it is not a competitive world, it is hyper competitive world. In this hyper competitive world, you cannot compete any organization, none of them. Why? Because you cannot integrate the different data from different parts of your organization together to access, to shape, to form a manageable whole. So, tool to aid decision making. After that, you should use this integrated picture about your organization to making your decisions. You know, decision making is a mathematical, emotional, financial, real process. At first, it has its very specific mathematics. We have several applications, several theories about the riskability, about the game theory, about the operational research and other parts in mathematics, in industrial engineering, in management, in leadership, in business. Okay, we have good mathematical and computerized mathematical or calculative computerized mathematical tools. But sorry, they are only applications. The brain is with you, not with them. They are only applications to process your data, to process your goals. If you don't have any aim, any goal about the future of your organization, you cannot do anything, anything. And after that, you should consider your emotional, especially emotional chaos in your organizations, like fatigue, like burnout, like happiness, like relaxation, like sadness. More important than everything, two major destructive emotion in your organizations are fear and anger. If you find these emotions in your organization, they are hyper destructive. They damage everything in your organization, also in your private life. We have five major emotions in psychology. Two of them is more destructive than other emotions. They are fear and anger. Fear and anger destroy everything. Because of fear, you always are flighting. Because of your anger, you are always are fighting. So because of that, you should know, you should have a good science about the emotional intelligence, EI, or social intelligence. If you don't know anything about the social intelligence, your managerial literacy, not your managerial knowledge. Knowledge is acquired by booking, by reading their books, passing their, taking their courses, and also coming to university programs like our MBA programs and DBA. These are about the knowledge, not about the literacy. When you are talking about the literacy, it is something behind knowledge and attitude. Literacy is more important even than your attitude. Literacy is how can you use your knowledge in the real world. It is about literacy. For example, we call it media literacy. It is something different from media knowledge or media attitude or media, for example, cyber psychology, media psychology. This is the media literacy. What are the major basic deep parts of application of knowledge in controlling and management of, for example, media? Because of that, it is very important to know about the different aspects of decision making in your organization. Highly recommended to read a complete book only for strategic thinking, only for not a chapter, not a chapter of this course, not a chapter of that course. Highly recommended. Only not about the organization. I know that you have a strategic, international strategic business and other parts. Only one book about the strategic thinking in all aspects of your life. And the last part is currently using both manual and automated systems. Why sometimes manual? Because some problems, especially in managerial parts of your organization, some problems is about the people, about the persons, about the employees. You should solve those problems by manual. Okay, go for a break for 15 minutes and just at 7, be here. Okay, see you after 15 minutes. Welcome again. Welcome back. And scope of talent management. What's the scope of? It is target jobs. One part is the target jobs and competency models. Target jobs identify the right jobs that will be the focus of talent management efforts. It's very important. I talk about it, about the most important jobs in an organization, which are the jobs that can have a long-term strategic, long-term competitive and strategic advantages. And competency models show the KSAs for various jobs. And libraries are competency models maintained by some companies and ensure efficient talent planning. It is very important. And the final part is about nothing. Competency models, the KSA. What does the KSA? What is the acronym of KSA for? What is KSA? We talked about last week. My smart students. What is KSA acronym for? The first one is for knowledge. Adnan, you are here. You can talk everything you want to talk about KSA.
You
What
call
is
me
KSA?
my smart student, so I have to answer.
Yes, you are my favorite students, and please you use your intelligence to answer my question. What is KSA for? K is for knowledge. Mario, I'm waiting to hear from you. K is for knowledge.
I'll say S is for skills.
I love it. And A for?
Attitude.
No.
I wanted to say attitude.
No, not attitude. It's in the same range of skills. Attitude or abilities?
Abilities.
Abilities, yeah. Also, I think if you use attitudes, it's very good. I love it. Attitude more lovely than abilities, because we are talking about the skills, knowledge, skills, and attitude, or knowledge, skills, and abilities. Study your book. Your final exam is not at all an easy exam. It is very hard. And about the details, yes, highly recommended. Highly recommended to study your book. Only your book, not only PowerPoints, not only the videos, just the book, page by page, word by word. Because HR management is very important course for you. Very, just something details, precise things like this, for example, very simple, but in details. And sometimes some parts of questions are very important and very analytical. I need your brain, not your knowledge. Knowledge in library, Wikipedia has a lot of knowledge. I need your brain.
Mario smiling, I don't know why.
Yes, Mario's smile is because he will be the top student at the end of the semester. Irish also. Development risk management. How can you define risk? What is risk? Yeah, Adnan.
This is the risk management. This is when you decide to go in or out. This is when you decide to sit in the poker table to bid, or you just keep watching. This is what I like to call it. There is something deeper than this. Take decision under in critical points is like, or under pressure or under risk. So this is the most deep things that have the manager to able to do it.
Yeah, perfect. Mario, what is the difference between risk and danger? Are the same or hazard? What is the difference between risk and danger? Risk and no, Mario. I need other students' brain.
Sorry, what?
What is the difference between risk and danger? Are the same?
Somehow. I mean, risk involves danger. But
What's the difference? Every risk
So
is
risk,
dangerous.
I don't know. I mean, risk is something that you basically gotta. So the risk is the measurement of the danger that the situation or the action that you're about to do it
Mhm.
brings with it. So I'll say like, w- yeah, risk involves danger, but danger doesn't directly involves risk. I mean, involves, but in the other way around.
Oh, let me ask other students, admin. Wayne, I have a question. Can you hear me, Wayne? Yeah, I have a question. Which is more observable, risks or hazards? More
Um,
observable.
hazard,
I cannot hear you.
hazard.
Hazard are more observable, and
I don't, I
which one is more measurable?
I don't know.
Do you have anything so-called hazard management or a hazard study or a hazard, for example, measurement? Have you heard about these phrases?
No.
Have you heard about the phrases like risk study, risk measurement, risk factors, risk components?
Hmm.
So Yana, why do you think that risk should be measurable and observable? Do you think risks are measurable and observable or not?
Yes, I think they are. Because you know how to, describe the risk and how much, for example, if it's like financial risk, you know how much money you can lose. You can somehow count or predict.
Have you heard anything about game theory or not?
No,
Have you studied about the game theory?
I just know there is a probability, chance of probability is 1 to 4. I don't remember exactly, but there is 4 times you have to throw choose the die to get the number. I don't know how it exactly.
Adin, what do you want to say?
When you said what difference between risk and danger,
Uh-huh.
risk, there is ability, there is 50-50 in the best condition, in the ideal world, 50-50, 50 win, 50 lose. This is the risk. Danger,
Maybe not always 50-50.
I said the ideal.
The
I
ideal,
said
yes. But in
ideal, 50-50, ideal.
risk study show you that your risk degree between, not 0, not 100. Because 0 point and 100 point are not in the risk, they are absolute values. There are certain points. Certainty, uncertainty, and ambiguity is between 0 and 100 in the scale of percent also.
Okay.
Rich talks about this scale, this spectrum between 0 and, but in the ideal point, yes, you are right, it's 50-50. And what about the danger?
So danger, there is no win. It's just danger. It's like it's always lose. That's threatening from different angle, but there is no win.
Yeah.
And the risk is ratio, by the way. Risk ratio between above 0 and
Yeah.
beneath 1. That's
Yeah.
9.
Yeah.
So that's the ratio. It's like it's not absolute 0 or 1. This is between.
So we have
That's how
4
became ratio.
words, 5 words near together: risk, danger, hazard, and threat, and fear. Very close words together. Very close words. Risk, hazard, fear, danger, and threat. But the most important and most measurable part is about the risk. You can study your risk. It is risk study. It is game theory. Game theory, it is the mathematical parts of risk study. And very important to know about these theories, because these are not only theories. They are the greatest tools, very, very great tools, very basic tools for you to have science-based decisions If you cannot do anything based on the science, if you are not science-based, why you are coming to a course like MBA? It's a science. You can do your business, you can do everything you want to in your organization without any science, not any science, but based on your traditional science. If you come here to gain the knowledge needed for organizing your company, for your organization, it should be based on science. And based on science, some theories, especially mathematical models, mathematical patterns, are very important. Oh, reduces the risk of developing talent of an employee who would choose to leave the organization with the skills gained. It's very important. Turnover in an organization is very important to reduce the turnover in organizations and guide and create the belongingness, organizational belongingness in your corporation, your company. Because not always many people, but some employees, when finishing gaining the knowledge and skills in your organization, they say goodbye to your organization and go for a higher ranking position in other organizations. So it is not only about the legal commitments, legal, for example, financial commitments for staying at your company for a period of time. You can do it, but it cannot create any creativity, any belongingness, any interest to the company. They are coming to your organization and wasting your time, your energy, and your money. And after some years or some weeks or some days, you said, you should go out. We don't need you, but you have investment. You have done some investment on their education. Because of that, one of the important things about development management and development talent and talent management is for creating a sense of belongingness to the company. And make or buy development, develop competitive human resources or hire individuals who are already developed from somewhere else. It is in opposition to the last perspective. In that part, we were worrying about losing our skillful personal skillful employees. Now we are talking about gaining other companies skill. It's not something like immigration. For example, many countries, like my countries, has a very higher education in the bachelor degrees, and after ending the degrees, many of them wants to go out of the country. It is the brain escaping. Our brain are escaping from the country. Why? Because of the political, because of the religious, because of the economic problems. They cannot work so easily in their country. But country has paid a lot of money for them, for education in higher grading, in bachelor and sometimes in master, especially in engineering. Especially in engineering, uh, my engineering countries, my engineering students, when come out of the country, they are very successful. You go, for example, to Silicon Valley, and here in California, you can find many Persian people with the only bachelor degree of engineering, but they are very successful. Because of that, it is very important to create a sense of commitment, a sense of belonging to the country, to the family, to the organization. Without that, you lose your investment. You will lose your intellectual possession, not as a, for example, copyright, your human capital or your intellectual, in your humanistic possession of the organization. If you lose them, you will be bankruptcy in the intellectual part. Global development. Companies focus on developing employees who can manage people and operations in diverse environments. It's very important. Global management or global development or global talent management, when you are talking about the companies like American companies, like European companies, you're not talking about only, for example, in companies like local companies for a state or only for this country. Many of them are big, are getting and becoming large companies for greater all around the world and work all around the world. Let me. Perfect. And suggestion for global development plan are make a global culture fluency a priority and tap in the best minds inside and outside, offer diverse skills development, and determine skills gaps and advancement candidates. Honestly, it is the major part of human resources management. It is the major part. This is about management. When you are talking about hiring process, it is not about management. It's a process, very fixed process. The answers are yes or no, based on the points. For example, based on the resume, based on the CVs, based on the point they can gain or they cannot gain. It is not about management. Management is an art and science of management. Why we call it art? Because after gaining the science, basic science of management, it is related to you. We can find individual differences in management. Because of that, everywhere you can find individual differences in doing something, that thing is called art. This is not science. Science is very fixed, very equal for anybody, everybody that can use the science. But art is not equal. For example, you talk about art of painting. In one specific style of painting, in one specific school of painting or university of painting, two students have two different painting from one model, for example, live model. Two students from one specific model, unique model, they have two different painting. Why? Because it's art. Art is based on the individual differences. And high potential individuals. High potential individuals, HI post, show high promise for advancements in the organizations. They said in management that if you only have 3 high posts in your organization, as a board members, 3 of them, your organization can be an international organization. High potential individuals, something more than talented. Please read a book or read some articles about the high performance coachings. It can help you a lot. Let me check it. Is there any book? I have seen a book in the title of high performance coaching. I think Springer had a good book about high performance coaching. It's fantastic to know about the items of high performance coaching.
Professor, I got a question. I was talking the other day with a friend. We were discussing about like performance coaching and life coaching.
Uh-huh.
What would you say it's a good age to start being a coach? Because like I was saying, my point in the argument was like you cannot be like 30 years old and be a life coach.
Why?
Like, so I don't know, from other perspective, what would you say? Like, is there a minimum age to, or like knowledge to be a coach?
It's related to the major field that you want to do your coaching. It is about the, also this book is very famous here, Stephen Griffin, about the high performance coaching, the new science of coaching, America's most trained coaches, trusted coaches. Coaching is a combination of knowledge, skills, character, very important. Your character in coaching is very important. Coaching is something like marriage. When you want to get married, you should have the character for marriage, specifically. It is not true that anybody can have a good marriage. It is not true because of the character. If your personality, your character, your traits are not so congruent with the marital status, your marriage will be a catastrophe. Coaching is something like that. It is not only about the character and personality, yes. all types of coaching needs a coaching character, all types. But it's not only about the character. It is something more than character. Now coaching is a science. You can find many books. When you can find many books in one approach, it shows that it's very important. At first, in financial, it is very important. Many people are wasting and consuming their time in the process. So at the age, for example, for executive coaching, for performance coaching, for financial coaching, no, it is not time of the, it is not the about the age. But for life coaching and marital coaching and spiritual coaching, and sometimes in performance coaching and also in athletic coaching, yes, I think if your age shows your amount of experiences in your previous life, in your previous history of your life, yes, age is important, but between 30 to 35, you can start your coaching practice. Any question? Show high promise for advancing in organization approaches to keep hypos engaged, discuss the future with them, discover their career aspirations. It is very important. What is the difference between aspiration and goals? Or aspiration or wish? Or aspiration or dreams? How can you kind of define aspiration? What is aspiration? Are they same your goals, your wishes?
Like motivation.
What?
Aspiration is like motivation.
What is the difference between aspiration and motivation? Also, aspiration is not the motivation. Inspiration is your motivation. Inspirations are your something like your motivation. But what about aspiration?
Yeah, I don't know.
Adnan? Adnan, do you want to say anything about aspiration? You are muted.
Yes. So the question again, sorry.
What is difference between aspiration and dreams? Aspiration and goals.
Dreams.
Aspiration are and wishes. What's
You
the
must
meaning
say
of
aspiration and goals in the
Goals
first.
or dreams
Okay.
or wishes,
No.
desires.
Can I?
So there is something dreams that's look dreams something that's dreams that's actually dreams stay dreams until you set the plan to have and they become goals.
Uh-huh.
Okay, that's and okay dream you said the dreams and which the or goals which the first one, sorry.
Wishes,
don't-
desires.
Can I? Oh, I
Go
thought we
ahead.
were saying aspiration and motivation.
Mario, are you good?
Yeah, I'm not feeling that bad. That's why I haven't been as
I
participant.
became a
As
little worried about your illness.
illness? No, I'm fine. I'm just tired. Like I spent the whole night like throwing up and stuff. I'm just
Wow.
tired.
So you are a
I,
good
like
complex of all the negative points now. Tired and some parts of illness and a little at the night, and you should have a good sleep tonight.
I
It's
hope so.
mandatory.
Mario, you have morning sickness.
No,
Oh,
morning.
no.
Why morning sickness? Okay, aspiration. What you said about the aspiration, Mario?
I'll say aspiration are more like dreams, like objectives, while motivation it's fuel.
Perfect. Perfect. Aspirations are objective.
Mm-hmm.
Something higher than your goals. Aspirations are not your goals. Something higher than your goals.
Yeah.
Something longer than your goals. Something more desirable than your goals. And what is the differences between, for example, dreams and your aspirations? The aspirations are objective. You can observe them in the not too far future, and you can measure about your attainment and achievement. It is very important. And offer high profile assignments if they are high pose, and offer interaction with senior leaders. You can see potential assessment about the strong motivation to extend the pursuit of challenge goals and other parts. Succession planning. Each words of discourse, each words of discourse can be a career. Each words of them. For example, You can be expert in succession planning. Expert. It can be your job. Not something other people say about the success coaching, for example. They are talking about the motivation. You cannot find anything. I am a motivational speaker in my native language. But honestly, I say you, when we are motivational speaker, we can motivate you, but we cannot give you any tools. Because in 2 hours, I can only start your engine. That's it. It's not a course. So motivational speakers, and also me, sometimes we create a perspective about the future in people. When they come to us to be a successful, to be happy, to be spiritual, to be goal directed, to gain and achieve their desires, their goals, their dreams, at first we should start to plan for them, not for them, with them. It is not true that we should work as a coach with for other people. We should work with them. The first word I find after 50 years of psychotherapy, after 50 years, 15 years of psychotherapy, the first word I found lovely and attract me very seriously to coaching was the word version. Coaching is for your best version. Also, I prefer to use better version because there is no best version. Every version you are, there's a better version after that. Because of that, I say, let your next version be your better version. And it is not a motto, it's not a slogan, it's a real. We have many tools, many strategy tools from psychology, sociology, from coaching and other parts for creating these parts in you. Preparing for inevitable vaccines in the organization hierarchy, retirements, transfer, promotions, and turnover should include a well-designed development system for employees and define key positions, involve key managers in talent identification, mentoring, and coaching. You can see succession planning process here. It can be so good in your real life, in your private and personal life. Integrate with the strategy. What type of thinker about the future you are that you don't have a strategy? What type of thinker about the future? You can be a manager, you can be a leader, you can be a father, you can be a mother, you can be a good citizen of a country. What type of thinker about future you are that you don't have any strategy? Because the main concept of a strategy is thinking long term about the future. After that, it's come planning after timetable and other parts. So the first part of succession planning process is integrate with strategy. Two, involve top management, and three, access key talent. The third part is access key talent. At first, it is about your vision. Second part, it is about your management. And third part, it is access key talent. The first part, what competencies will be needed? We are talking about the strategy. What do you need? It is something like coaching. The first question, I love this question. The first question I ask my client when they come to me and say, Doctor, I have a lot of efforts, but I am not successful. The first question is, what pain do you want to have? What pain, not what success. What pain do you want to have? It is the first question for your success, because your pain that you choose shows that the cost that you want to pay for your success. If you don't want to tolerate any type of pain, you don't want to be a successful man or woman. What pain do you want to have? What pain do you want to tolerate? Adnan?
There is is called being the only and the all different.
But I didn't understand what you say. Sorry.
Being the only and the only, the all different and the only.
Yeah. Pain is something that you want to choose for achievement, for your achievement. If you every morning you say to yourself that, wow, such a new day, what type of challenge I want to face today? What type of challenge? It's the not the I don't like the word fighter. I like the word warrior. Warrior is something fighting with yourself. Warrior is about fighting with yourself. What type of challenge, what type of pain I want, I like, I love to face today. After sometimes you will be a serial challenger, We have different types of serial killer, serial learner, and now we have the serial challengers. It's a good question. What competencies will be needed? Which jobs will be critical? The most important jobs with the long distance and long-term competitive advantages. How should critical positions be filled? Are international assignments required? And the second part, involve top management. What is the CEO's role in succession planning? Are high-level executives involved in the process? Are top executive mentoring or coaching others? Is there authority or accountability for succession goals? It's very important. Who is there responsible for our goals? I love this concept. Why? Because you use it in your private life, in your personal life. It's very important. Who is the responsible of my goals, of my achievement? My government, my mother, my father, my
I Ariel,
educational level, my money. Who is responsible or what is responsible? Adam, do you want to say anything?
Me. This is
Only
gonna be,
you?
yeah,
Only you?
yeah, only me.
Only you. Perfect.
It is like,
Such a great slogan. It's a
look,
slogan.
I'm gonna tell you this. If you have yourself, you have everything you need.
Yes, but what about your society? What about your social prestige? What about your discrimination in your society? You say only me, or no? Me at the first rank. Also, I love it to say only me. But I have many questions when you say only me, only I am the responsible of my goals. Yana, do you want to say anything?
I think also it's just me.
Just you? And
Thank
Mario,
you,
do you
Jana.
want to say only you?
No.
Who is
Uh,
And
accountable
I'm,
for your
I'm a
goal?
product of everything that is behind me, everything, my experiences, the
I
support.
only behind you your guitar. Is your
No,
guitar
behind me is
accountable?
my past, my background. Like without the effort of my mom, without the effort of the people that's been surrounding me, or without my own effort, which I believe is the top priority, the top reason why we're like this, or like you're trying to be like, yeah, I cannot get lost, but yeah, that.
Yeah. You should differentiate between two concepts. One, who is accountable? Who is effective? These are different concepts. Many
Accountable.
elements, many elements are impressive, are effective in your life. Your society, your educational level, your social level, your financial level, all are impressive, all are effective in your success. But they are not
Accountable.
responsible. They are not
Yeah,
accountable.
they're not the responsibles for that. I
They're
am
not
the responsible for
responsible.
that.
It is not related to them. It is not important that you are success or not. It should be important for you.
Can you explain that again? Like,
Yeah. If you cannot consider yourself as a core component of your success, something more of your happiness, it is a great false. It's a great false belief about happiness that I should be happy always. We have three major false beliefs about happiness based on the research also. The first false belief about happiness by Sonia Lyubomirsky, a scientist, I think, in Kansas University, work on happiness studies for all her life. Sonia Lyubomirsky says that we have three basic false beliefs about happiness. The first false belief is, I will be happy after reaching that point. It's a false belief. You will never reach that point as a happiness point. Yes, you can be success, but you are not successful. So different things. When you are successful, it is part of your personality, your character. When you achieve your success, it is your position, your situation, organizational situation, or for example, social situation, other parts.
Doctor, sorry, but when you said when you gonna happy, sorry, but I missed that part.
The first false belief is that many people think that I will be happy after achievement, after reaching one specific point. For example, when come to me and say, Doctor, I am not happy. And I think that after ending my MBA program, I will be happy. It's called Omega Point. Have you heard about your Omega Point?
Yeah,
Omega Point.
I had
Every development, every success has an Omega Point. Omega Point is the end of the end. The final point is Omega Point. It is called Omega Point. Everything, your development, your life, your money, your satisfaction, your happiness, your fears, your worrying, your relaxation, everything positive or emotion has an Omega Point. When you see my Omega Point for happiness is that point, and you achieve that point, they reach that point and say, I'm here, but I'm not happy. The second false belief is that I will be happy only the time that I have no problem. Only two categorization of people have no problem. One, psychotic people in the mental hospital, they don't have any problem. Two, dead people. Dead people have no problem. So if you have a problem, it shows that at first you are mentally health. Why not? You are not at the mental hospital. When you have problem and you are solving your problem, it shows that you are healthy, mentally healthy. Second, you show that you are alive. Only dead people don't have any problem. And the second and the third false belief about happiness is I should be always happy. There's a I love this book. Honestly, it's one of the greatest books I have studies in my life. And let me show you. It is a very fantastic book. Ross Harris. Everything from Ross Harris is this book. Happiness Trap. And also you can read about the concept of happiness treadmill. Happiness is like treadmill. In treadmill, you are losing your calories. Okay, very good. And you are trying and trying and trying. But there is a problem with treadmill. You don't go forward. It is called happiness treadmill. Many people want to have sex, to drink, to have marijuana, to be successful, everything. But they are in the happiness treadmill. Happiness treadmill is one of the basic and most important concepts in positive psychology. It is very interesting that we are talking about the happiness as major part of positive psychology, happiness studies. We can check the Happiness Studies Academy by Tal Ben-Shahar. Tal Ben-Shahar is one of the most genius people all around the world. He has founded Happiness Studies Academy, HSA. He was very sharp man, very sharp man. He was a student of Harvard IT, computer sciences. And only one morning, he woke up and said that I am the Harvard computer science student for PhD candidate. and I am the champion, I am the hero, I am the number one, for example, for some sports in my country here in America. I have good money, everything. But there is a major problem for me. I am not happy. And he went, let me show you, he went to his teacher and said, I want to happiness, Talvin Shahar. He went to his teacher and said, I want to change my major. It came out of his university and went to,
Hey,
let me show
question
you.
for you.
Please see this video in YouTube. It is Happiness 101 with Talvin Shahar. It's about his life. It's very interesting, very interesting, very inspirative. It's Talvin Shahar.
I
Also,
expected you to
he
be
was very young
Now,
in
just
this
so that you
video.
understand, by this time, my self-esteem is shot. But still, with some semblance of nonchalance, I ask, how different? And the interviewer looks at me and he says, I don't know, Tal. I expected you to.
Also, he is very funny, very funny man. Because of these concepts, which are very important in some specific scientific fields like positive psychology, you should know about the basic concepts of happiness. Why? If you go, you should pay, I think, about $400. If you go to this part, because you are very here, it's very important to know everything at the aspect of happiness, because you are a manager, you are not psychologist. So you should know about the importance of happiness. I think one of the greatest university between the first 15 university ranking is Berkeley. Berkeley has this group, Greater Good Science Center. It is in Berkeley. Very important. This Greater Good Science Center in Berkeley has a course so-called the science of, can you see it or not? Okay.
Yes.
The science of happiness at work. I think tuition, it should be about $400. It's Berkeley. It is Greater Good Science Center, not public center, not science center, it's for Berkeley. And the course is the science of happiness at work. If you know these concepts, you will be different managers. Except of them, you are very ordinary managers. These are the new concepts in the organizations. Also, these are not very new, about 5 to 10 years ago, from 10 years ago. But if you don't know anything of them, okay. So it is so hot topic to talk about it. And I have a lot of things to talk with you. And it is 7:45. Okay, go to your quiz and do it. And I uploaded the categorization and the grading system for your final paper in week 3 before your title justification. Go to the Moodle and check it. It is about your final paper, how many words you should use, how many references you should use, and what is the time of reference. Other very details, precise details about your final paper. Go to your Moodle and in week 3 and before the section of paper justification, you can find anything. Mario, is there any question? Yeah.
Yeah, I checked the minimum quantity of words. They say there is 4,000 just to get 1% on the 5% of the length category for grading.
Yeah.
Do we have to make like 5,000 words to get the full points there?
Yes, sir, for final paper. You are a master degree student. It
Yeah,
is not highest.
just wondering, because I've been asking that since a while before, and I asked you for the guideline, and it was the same from the other papers, but because you said there was something special that you got your stuff, I'm asking again. Is
Yeah,
that
no,
okay?
no problem. Your final paper is very important.
Yeah, I know.
It's very important. More important than your final exam.
Yeah, somehow.
Because shows how do you think about the matters. And don't do it for us as the faculty, as the university. Do it for yourself. It can be some moneymaker in the future for you. Gathering information and discussing information is a job, so-called research. It's a job, highly paid job. If you have the issue of money making, it's a job and highly paid job. Why? Because many people like me, like you, don't have any good patience for do it. Because of that, it is a job of patience and accuracy. What are the skills in addition to our knowledge about research and other things? It needs patience and accuracy to be careful, to be accurate about the data. But it's a job, a highly paid job. So because of that, honestly, for me, your final paper is very important. And I grade final papers so bad, honestly, I will tell you myself, so bad, very precise. Many people, many students will fail in final papers. So do it just as the same in your guideline, just like that.
Okay.
Word for word, I will check it.
Yeah,
About the concept, about the logic behind your discussion, about your plagiarism. Don't do any plagiarism. Plagiarism will be zero. If I find any plagiarism, don't do anything except of APA style. It is very important. You should do anything on APA style publication style. If you cannot do it, you are not MBA students. I have a lot of force for my BS Bachelor of Science students in your university for APA style. Honestly, it is not mandatory for them, but I have a lot of force on them to do their article, to do their assignments based on it. For you and DBA students, it is mandatory. So please start work on your final paper from now. You cannot do it in 2 weeks. You cannot do it. If you
That's why I
want to
wanted to
do
start
it,
last week.
okay, perfect. Yes, yes, yes. Kudos, kudos for you, because you asked me last week about the details. It's very good. Please start it. You need 15 references, citing based on APA style without any plagiarism. It is something like your dissertation. It's a very small dissertation. If you cannot do it, you can cancel your studying in Kalamazoo, because it's a major part. Everything is something like, for example, BS. You have a good book, you have some good quizzes, you have some good learning engagement. What's the difference between bachelor and master? The only thing is about your final paper. Because of that, we cancel your midterm quiz. Midterm quiz is not good for master degree and DBA. It's good for high school and for your bachelor of science. Anything else? Have a good time with your final paper. I love your final paper, and I wish you will love your final paper. Except of that, you should get divorced with your final paper, and after that, you should divorce your MBA from Kalamazoo. Only you do it, you can have a good marriage with your MBA. Bye.